Some people say that it's a troll that was frozen by sunlight before they built the bridge. Welcome back, you heathens, to Mike Heath's Orbital Garbage Project. I am Mike Heath, and this is our Orbital Garbage Project. I'm here at the Kansas City airport after a long weekend of comedy. Just kidding. I'm just here visiting family, and I think the janitor is about to walk up to me, which would make this very awkward, but I'm committed to it for our mission of collecting a piece of space trash. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. That's what I'm committed to doing here for the movement. I think I've lost my power. Nope, we're good. We didn't lose it, baby. We didn't lose just like the Seattle Mariners didn't lose and they made it to the playoffs. If you care about baseball, I've seen a lot of debate online. People who have season tickets to the Seattle Mariners, should they sell their tickets? Here I'm going to have somebody from the airport come ask me what I'm doing, and I do believe that's what's about to happen, and they're going to tell me I can't do this, but we're going to find out what is happening. So if you think about the way that the neutrons form with the subatrons, that's what propels the rocket. What we see here from SpaceX's launch today for the 11th launch, they said that this is going to be the same ship that takes the next Americans to the moon, supposedly, is what it's going to happen. So they just landed off the coast of Australia. We see here, let's pull this up. Their 11th flight test. A splashdown confirmed. We're watching this here live. So they just came over. So the person didn't even... I just acted like I was talking about something smart while they walked over here in case they were trying to think I was stupid talking about the Seattle Mariners. So if here's a question. If you could sell your ticket to the Mariners playoff game that would pay off not one but two of your mortgage payments, would you do it? Legally, there's nothing restricting you from doing it. However, there is a moral question, is if that's a moral thing to do or not. Personally, I think no matter how big of a fan or how small of a fan you are, if you could sell off one experience, especially if it's not like a game that would decide the series, like a game 4 through 7. I think if it's not one of those tickets, I think you're more within your right. And I do think that this gate is about to open up. If this gate's going to open up to people, I got to get out of here. I can't sit here while other Americans come I can't take up seats from a family. I got 3 seats taken up right here. I got to get going. But I have to do this podcast. There's a lot of important Orbital Garbage Project news I do need to update you on. But yes, so first the moral question. The moral question of the week is, if your team, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, was in the playoffs and you were a season ticket holder and you could sell one ticket and cover 2 months of your mortgage, would you do it? Are you that much of a fan? For me personally, there's no tickets that I wouldn't sell unless the Missouri Tigers were going to win a national championship and I somehow had tickets. I don't know how that would work out. If I somehow got national championship tickets, I would not sell those for 2 months of my mortgage, which I don't have, which I probably never will have, because I'm committed to spending my disposable income on the $2 million we need to collect a piece of space trash. So I think it would be unethical for me to spend money on a mortgage payment at this point without having first collected a piece of space trash. And I'm not willing to do that to the community that we have here with the Space Trash Force. That is actually the space news I wanted to talk about, though. Mike, where'd you get that news? It's news from space. SpaceX has launched. I watched live on X which is SpaceX's social media website, which I hear. They launched the Starship 11, which is the ship that will take the next humans to space. I did hear reports from my insiders in SpaceX that there was no space trash left. It all came back to Earth. So I find comfort in that they did not pollute space. However, I've been reading things online, and I need to talk to an expert, honestly, about this, is that Starlink is having 1 to 2 of their satellites fall to Earth. And I'm going to talk to an expert, I think, next week about this, about space trash falling to Earth, which is not the space trash that we are concerned with. We are only concerned with the space trash that is littering low Earth orbit, which is going to prevent us from going outside of Earth. So I do need to fact check that, and that'll probably be next week's space news. We'll fact check these reports that are coming out on the internet right now about Starlink's satellites falling to Earth. And I'm in the airport, and gosh, it is just so good to see. I think the airport is one place where you can see all faces. And I like to go to a place where I can see all types of faces, long faces, round faces, square faces. It is, but here, I did realize a peeve. It's a peeve I have with how airport bathrooms are structured. So whenever you go into a bathroom, you have your luggage, right? Your rolling luggage that you have to hold with your hand. You go and use the restroom, but then you have to use the restroom, dirty your hands with your own excrements, and then you have to carry your luggage with your hands, which is contaminated with excrements from your body, before you go wash your hands. So I think they need a wipe station next to the hand washing station where you can disinfect your handle from your luggage. It's 2025. I don't know how we haven't figured this out yet, but if I ever build an airport after, of course, we collect our piece of space trash, maybe we become famous in that, we open up the Space Trash Force airport. Maybe we're doing suborbital planes by that point. I don't know. That's just something that I think, in addition to cleaning up our low Earth orbit, we do need to figure out, really. It is something we need to do. But we have exciting news for the movement of collecting a piece of space trash, which is this. That is the whole mission of this podcast. This podcast is just one part of the greater mission of collecting a piece of space trash. We have we're going to capitalize here. So we had plans to throw our own events, but the reality is we don't have enough momentum yet. We don't have momentum for the movement. But how does a movement grab momentum from other things that are already happening? So we are initiating a new component, a new aspect of the Mike Heath Orbital Garbage Project, and that's called piggybacking. We are initiating the Piggybacking Initiative. I don't think I need to say initiative, that we are enacting the Piggybacking Initiative, where we are going to hop onto events that are already occurring, gathering of people, like-minded people, and at those events, now we're not going to solicit, but we're going to join in, and then maybe through that we're going to network as we piggyback on events to gain members of the Space Trash Force. And there's an upcoming event I want to tell you about coming up on October 31st in Seattle, Washington. It's called Trolloween. If you've never been to now there's a police member going to come over and probably tell me that I can't do this anymore and talk about the SpaceX mission that was launching a rocket. Okay, I actually think we're good. He's actually walking away right now, so I think we're actually fine to do it, but we're going to talk quietly. Maybe he didn't see me. We're here in the corner hiding. Okay, I think we're good. The police have left the building. We are good to go. Trolloween. So if you haven't been to Seattle, or if you haven't, you didn't know about this, there is a troll living under the Fremont Bridge. Now, it is a troll made out of stone. Some people say that it's a troll that was frozen by sunlight before they built the bridge, the Fremont Bridge. So some people say, some scholars of Seattle say, troll scholars say that first there was trolls before people settled in, before white Anglo-Saxon Americans settled in Seattle, Seattle was actually run and was a home place of trolls. The Northwest American troll community lived in Seattle, and Sun hit a troll, froze him in stone, which they then built a bridge over, the Fremont Bridge. So there's a stone troll there. Some people say it's just art. Other people say it's a ancient troll. So some people say, the people who say it's art say it's 35 years old. Now, I cannot neither confirm nor deny it's not a real troll or an art troll. Either way, it's the 35-year anniversary for the art community of the Fremont troll. And it's called Trolloween. So there's going to be live music, people dressed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress up as a piece of space trash, and I'm going to attend the Trolloween event. I want to invite you to also dress up as a piece of space trash. We're going to attend this event and simply have a marketing material for the Space Trash Force. And as we're just being participants in Trolloween, we can tell people, hey, if you like cool stuff like celebrating the Fremont Troll, you might also like collecting a piece of space trash with the Mike Keith Orbital Garbage Project, a community that I'm a part of called the Space Trash Force. So I think this is going to be something that says at 7 p.m. Pacific time in Seattle, Washington, under the Fremont Bridge by the Fremont Troll. There's going to be live music. I'm sure there's going to be candy because that's a part of the American tradition of Halloween. They will be celebrating probably things we don't agree with, but we can piggyback onto the energy of Trolloween for the greater purpose of collecting a piece of space trash. So that's what we're going to do. That's coming up, and I want to get you in on that. We need to be there, so I want to invite you to come there. Other important updates on the life of the project. I haven't, if you're a part of this, you're well aware that part of our efforts in collecting a piece of space trash is to become a traveling comedian, which I'm not currently doing, or a touring comedian, or just a comedian that makes enough money where he can put away money towards his mission of collecting a piece of space trash. And we're not currently doing that, but we're working on it. Now, I haven't worked on it the past 2 weeks. I haven't done any comedy for 2 weeks, which is insane. But this weekend when I get back to Seattle, we will do that. And we had plans to do it on the trip, but it just didn't work out. And that's okay. That's life. Sometimes you want to do something, but you just don't do it. Am I right, boys and girls? So some other exciting stuff that has happened is some things I learned about Midwestern white dads. Midwestern white dads, I can only speak to that demographic because that's the only demographic that I'm family with, that I'm really close with back here in the Midwest. Is what I found is that the Midwestern white dad likes to put ranch on his taco salad. Now, most red-blooded Americans like to put salsa on their taco salad, but this beautiful part of the country, the Midwestern part, which is where I'm from, they like to put ranch dressing on their taco salad. And that's just a little fun fact. That's maybe the fun fact of the week. White Midwestern dads like ranch dressing on their taco salads. Feel free to chime in here in the comments. Like and subscribe. If you're not listening, you're watching on the YouTube, you could like and subscribe there. If you're listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast because you're pumping this into your ear holes, go ahead and leave us a review. It's a good time. If you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing, be honest. Leave us a bad review. I will track you down, and then I will downvote anything you put on Reddit or across the internet. I will track you down, and I will make it my personal ambition outside of collecting piece of trash to take you down. No, I'm just kidding, but I may do that. I don't know. I can be petty at times. Let's see what else. What else is exciting coming up here? I was back home in Columbia, or back in the state of Missouri, in Columbia, Missouri, where I went to college, and we were watching the Mizzou Alabama game. This is an embarrassing moment here. Well, it had the potential for being a very embarrassing moment. And I want to just share this because I think it's important, because what I'm doing right now, currently podcasting from an airport, is embarrassing in and of itself. And I think to really accomplish your goals in life, you need to look like a fool. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. That's a quote that I once heard that I really like to apply to my life. So take that with you and take that to the bank and deposit it and see if it grows over the next 5 to 10 business years. So another thing that I thought was quite embarrassing, had the potential for embarrassment, was, if you didn't know, Mizzou fans, they like to do this chant. It's called M-I-Z. It's M-I-Z chant. You finish it with the Z-O-U because we can't spell Missouri. We spell Missouri, Mizzou. M-I-Z-Z-O-U. So there was this crucial point at the end of the game before we inevitably lost to Alabama. Roll Tide. We got tided. We got rolled. We got roll tided. Tide to Go is not a sponsor for this podcast or the movement, but I do use their sticks regularly. I like to keep one on me in case I spill ranch on myself from eating taco salad. So there was this moment in the game where I thought, this is the perfect moment. I haven't yelled out M-I-Z. No one in this brewery where we were watching the game had yelled out M-I-Z to this point. But I thought, this is the moment. We converted this. I think it was 4th down. I think we converted a 4th down. It was a long play, kept the game alive, kept our hopes high for not only tying the game, but also maybe beating Alabama. So I stood up and I yelled out M-I-Z in this brewery, about 50 people, and there was, typically whenever that happens, there's an immediate Z-O-U, but when I did that, there was a 1 to 2 second delay. Felt like an eternity where no one responded with a Z-O-U. Now, mind you, in this brewery were some of my closest friends. My little sister was there, my wife was there, and one of my close friends, Kyle Hempkin, friend of the podcast. I'm sure you're listening, Kyle. No one had responded, not even those 3. And then a faithful few chimed up with a Z, and then the rest of the brewery followed OU. But there was a moment, approximately 1 to 2 seconds, where I thought, boy, do I look like a fool. I'm here with my brethren, my Mizzou brethren, fellow alumni and fans of the Mizzou Tigers, all here at this brewery watching the game, where I thought, it's the embarrassment of silence, the embarrassment of rejection. And that's what happens so often in our work of collecting a piece of space trash. We are rejected. With our comedy efforts, we are rejected. We have a guerrilla marketing poster. We're like, hey, can we hang this in your business to spread awareness about the issue of space trash? They say no. We face rejection every day, but we do not give up. We do not grow weary. We never surrender. And that's what we're about here at the Mike Heath Orbital Garbage Project. So mark your calendars, October 31st, 7 p.m. in Seattle, Washington. We will be attending Trolloween. That's right, folks. Other exciting stuff to let you in on. We've got the video back from the Up Next showcase, which we'll be posting on our Patreon. So if you're not on the Patreon, go join over there. Any membership will get early access to that video of my best stand-up set of my entire life, which we hope to put on the YouTube in a week after it's early released on Patreon. We'll upload some short clips to drive traffic to the long form 10 minutes of stand-up comedy. And we hope that this stand-up comedy 10 minutes goes at least mini viral, and we are able to gain new subscribers, new members of the Space Trash Force. They say, I like this guy's comedy. I want to see what else he's about. And they're going to find that they're a part of a greater community that is not just about laughing, but saving humanity from the issue of space trash. And gosh, it is so exciting to think about the new members we're going to gain. So we will be posting that on the Patreon. You also get early access to the podcast there, so make sure to do that. Let's see, what other important news? Upcoming shows for comedy. We have on October 19th, I'll be at Laughs Comedy Club for the Battle of the Ages. The next night, I will be at the One Man Show, which is a comedy showcase of mostly, it's all female and non-binary comedians, and one straight heterosexual man. This week's one man is me. That's at Queer Bar in Seattle, Washington on Monday the 20th. After that, we're looking at the 23rd. I'm at St. Andrew's Pub in Seattle, Washington for a show there. And then what's after that? Next, we have, what's a big show to push here? Probably not for a while. we are looking. That's pretty good, I think. Oh, yeah, that's enough. That's enough dates. Just the next week where I'll be doing comedy. That's pretty exciting. I'm sure I'm going to cut most of this out of here. Let's see if there's anything else we want to say before we send you guys off here for another week of Mikey's Orbital Garbage Project. Trolloween, mark your calendars for that. Put ranch on your taco salads. That's it, folks. Come back next week for more space news and more updates on us on our mission to collect a piece of space trash. And remember always, as we always say, folks, together we will clean up our orbital junkyard. Peace.
Great shot!